Hi, there's some new faces.
Co-host.
Oh, Max. What's
I'm making you co-host.
Right. Oh, thank you very much. That's a blessing and an honor that I'm not sure what to do with, but
It's just in case you need to mute or something. You could just
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks.
we give them all the option. Who knows? Like, you know, dog could go crazy in the background. You're like, wait a minute.
That could well happen for multiple occupants of this digital room, I believe.
Red has already tried to break into the studio.
Oh yeah, she's like, I want in.
Yeah, but we doggy proofed the garden again.
Okay.
Today, and then so we've kind of let her out in the garden and we've been like watching her to see what she does. And I came in here to do this, and she's like, "Why did you leave?" Done her like pawing at the door thing.
We're supposed to play in the garden right now. You made it all cool.
How dare you?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Hopefully Nellie's going to behave. I think she's pretty tuckered out. So she's downstairs dog room, so she's chilling.
You didn't get anything to eat, Hannah?
I did have a little something to eat, yeah. May have a little something else later, but yeah, thank you. Thank you for that window of opportunity. It's been a busy day.
No worries in the slightest.
Get munching.
I see some new faces here as well. There's Erin. Hi, Erin.
Hi.
Hi. Jim. Hi, Jim. Michaela. Hi, Michaela. Hey. Yeah. Yep. This is really nice. Just trying to work out what time in the morning it is for which people. Michaela, are you in Australia? Are you the 4:30?
No, that's Erin, actually.
That was me. Yes.
Oh, that's Erin. Oh, it's you.
Yes, it's now 6 a.m. here. Yes.
Oh wow. Okay, so yeah, like mid morning. No, I'm kidding. That's brutal. Very forget that.
Yes, we have time travelers in our group. So Erin is actually coming to us from Sunday right now.
Oh right, yeah, totes. Yeah. Don't say that out loud very often. Yeah.
Trying that one on.
That's it. Take it for a drive. Yeah.
This is me, totes.
Yeah. Does this look good on me? Not really. No.
We'll try something else later. No problem. Yeah.
Yeah. We could. Yeah, exactly. If you want me to just like take some lingo for a spin, let's go.
That's what editing is for. You're fine. No worries.
Sweet. Oh, okay. Luxury. Absolute luxury. No.
You'll have a bunch of regional phrases to choose from. You've got different regions here.
Oh yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So where's everybody else from? Like, tell me about yourselves.
Go ahead, Charles.
So actually, we'll go ahead and start with introductions, as a matter of fact. So yeah. So we are Curiosity Without Borders. I'm Charlie or Charles, whichever you want. I'm from Chicago, out of the United States. We've got Jessica coming out of San Diego, California. Erin is coming to us from Queensland, Australia. And Scotty is coming to us from the UK. So we've got...
just normal.
Relatively speaking.
That's a good clue. Doesn't know.
Yeah.
Just like, just normal. Yeah. Me. Yeah. Just
from your neck of the woods, I'll put it that way.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
Exactly.
Nice.
Yep. So yeah. So thank you very much for doing the Q&A with us. We always like to try and keep these as light, casual, fun as possible. So what we want to do is start off with just some background questions about you and whatnot. So obviously you're a musician. Seen in some of your videos, it looks like you play piano. What other instruments do you play?
Well, that's kind of it, really. So singing is my main focus, really. Vocals is my love, my one, my true instrument forever and ever. Amen. And my, I guess keys, I actually started with piano. So I started learning at 7, which means I should be like really good by now, based on years, but based on actual practice and focus and, you know, not necessarily listening to my teacher and just, I want to play this though. And that's all cool. But so my skills are a bit limited on piano, but really useful for songwriting and for kind of propping up teaching and some singing lessons and stuff like that. Really assists that. Guitar, very, very small amount. I'm usually in a very kind of weird open tuning that resembles just a very open, not major, not minor chord. So I can just find a comfortable 2 or 3 shapes and find maybe 6 chords within that I can work with to write songs. Leo bought me a ukulele on the tour we did in 2019, I think it was.
Yep.
I'm so sorry for the constant throat clearing as well. I'm very hay fevery today. It's really, the pollen's up here. I'm feeling I'm so sorry. I've got my lemon.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh no, thank you. It's actually, yeah, I don't normally get it this bad, so I'm like, I thought it was COVID, then I took a test and then it wasn't, so fears are relieved for now. Yeah, so sorry, spaghetti brain. Where was I, Charlie?
Oh, we were talking about musical instruments. No worries.
Ukulele.
Yep.
Yeah, so yeah, I said to Leo when we were in London, the bus stopped and some of the guys went off to the music shop, and I said, hey guys, if you see like a really, really cheap ukulele, like silly cheap, can you just pick one up? Because I'd like something to just, you know, give you cash. I'd like something to just play on the bus, just to be able to write a bit or play some music that isn't plugged in, because all the guitars the guy's using is the Shuriken, excuse me, Helix stuff. So you can't really kind of sit and play that necessarily unplugged on the bus. And then Leo came back with this beautiful little Fender ukulele, and I was just like, what? And he's like, yeah, happy whatever day it was, you know, so generous and lovely. And yeah, so me and Anders and a couple of the guys kind of put some lyrics together, and over a couple of weeks, you know, made a little song, and we didn't quite get to finish it. And when we thought we were going to get to play it to everybody, we couldn't, because I can't remember what it was. The issue was with the bus. Max might remember better than me, or Kai, but some issues, or we flew back from somewhere, or there was a strike on something, I don't know. Anyway, so it was like, you have to play the song now. Oh, okay. And we were all like slightly drunk after the last show, and it was like, I can't really remember the lyrics or the chords, and what was it again? And Anders is doing his bit like I don't know, very, very loud, and it was great. Anyway, really special, but not quite what we intended the moment to be. But yeah, Leo kind of, he just like, it was this love song to Leo basically, which was, yeah, from all of us. So we were like, oh, you're this and you're that, and the Shuriken and the Helix like featured in the song. We were like, we better get the gear in there. Yeah, good time.
You can actually hear the song in the end of the documentary of our tour.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah.
Drunkenly recited.
So with your voice being your main weapon, so to speak,
right.
What is your vocal range, out of curiosity, or do you know what your vocal range is?
Yeah, it changes all the time. So currently I'm like, yeah, we can go low, which is really fun, but not very useful, because I've got to do some recording in a few days, and I'm like, I'm hoping this all sort of lightens up a bit before then. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, years and years ago, I was doing sort of classical singing and starting to touch on the opera sort of pool and trying that out for size when I was a like late teenager, and thinking that was what my education was going to be, head for very classical singing and go to a very sort of la-di-da, no disrespect, but, you know, nice fancy school, yeah, and do something with my, you know, all my buttons done up and very done, too many metaphors, but I didn't, for various reasons. Took a year out, did a crazy year out thing, and then I ended up going to music college in Guildford, and oh, I can let someone into the room.
I might let that guy in. Yeah, I suppose we can let him in.
Where I met Rabia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect timing. Yeah, so oh no, I've been distracted. This is what happens. Total spaghetti.
Okay.
Rabia has that effect on people, we've been told, so yes.
Can't think straight. Yeah, so went to music college. Excuse me. Went to music college, and then kind of learnt to sing a totally different way. So I think before I had a teacher that told me I was a mezzo, and I had a teacher that told me I was a soprano, and I had a teacher that told me that was alto, and then it sort of all moved into the contemporary world, and it was like, you know, it's not, you know, there's range, sure, but there's also there's all this kind of library of tone and these different ways of using your voice to express yourself, and that's kind of ultimately why I sing, is to get something like out of me and to kind of express something and share something that I can't do unless I'm singing. So yeah, it was like, oh my gosh, soul music. Like, yeah, I love this. I love that there's this thing called agility where you can be really nifty with your riffs and runs and kind of, yeah, I got really nerdy around that time with my voice. I was kind of previously not a super nerd on the vocal cords and all the everything. And then I was just kind of like sucking up information where I could about stuff, and that, you know, that's also supported now. Sometimes when I'm teaching, I'm like, oh, I have to go down into this world again and listen to all these podcasts of these amazing vocal coaches. And, you know, I've just purchased this recently, The Zen of Screaming by Melissa Cross, which actually I'm now terrified that I've now shared that with you, because I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but I'm interested in learning what she's doing there. So yeah.
We just had somebody a couple of weeks ago talking about, was Whitney talking about that? Yeah, one of our previous interviews a couple of weeks ago was talking about that exact disc, actually. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, I think it's a staple, I think, in the screaming community and in the more extreme vocal community. So yeah, I've known some of her teachings and seen some of her interviews, and I'm like, I love you, I get you, you're really cool. She totally knows what she's talking about. I totally trust what she's talking about, you know. So I'm interested to try what she's got. Previously been quite scared to try that, coming from the more, you know, classical world and being quite kind and careful with everything, and everything's very head voice, and, you know, you mustn't shout too loud and you mustn't this, and you've got to keep still. I never could. I was always, even when I thought I was standing still, apparently my arms were like swinging all over the place. My mum would always be like, you know, you can't do that. And then then contemporary music. I'll just keep going, by the way, so if you want to interrupt at any point and you're like, actually we were talking about
and no problem with this in the slides. We love the tangents.
Go for it. Go crazy.
Tangent queen, are you ready? We'll have to have like tabs maybe or something. Yeah, so yeah, pick a tab. I don't know, where were we?
Moving. You couldn't stand still.
Couldn't stand still, right, that's it. Yeah, anyway, but then on the flip side, you know, when I then went on and did the kind of more contemporary stuff, I'd also hadn't really been taught how to perform, like, or really be quite large with my movements or anything like that. And it was really challenging to know what to do when I was then, I know how to sing and I'm comfortable doing that, but the performance element was really quite difficult. Frog Leaps taught me so much about performance, and yes, it's awesome. It's great. It's so much fun. Never in a million years did I think I'd be just like throwing my hair around on stage and jumping around and being all like, ah! And, you know, who is this person? I don't know. Like, it was always in there somewhere, you know. It's just so great to have that space to be able to perform that way, and to, not that you need permission at all, but long story, from my background, it kind of feels like you do need permission for a lot of stuff. So yeah, to suddenly have this space where someone's like, I'm like, how do you want me to, like, you know, perform? Leah's like, yeah, whatever, you do you. He's just always like, what do you want to do?
Your thing. Yeah,
unless he's got a really kind of specific, like, you know, I'm thinking this and this and this, he's just like, yeah, just you do you, which is amazing. You get to turn up as you, as the version of you that loves to kind of jump around. And I think I'm one of those ambiverts, like very introverted at times, and I think a lot of us are, but yeah, and then very extroverted, but have to kind of have a bit of a push sometimes to get there. And yeah, Frog Leap's great for that.
Yeah, no, we can definitely tell.
You know,
one of the things that you kind of alluded to was your training and whatnot. One of the questions that I think it might have been Jess who wanted to ask was, could you describe your vocal freestyle, your breath control from I'm Out of Love?
Oh, yeah. Can you do that one more time, just to be super specific? Is that particular part of that cover?
Who was it that had asked that question? Was that Jessica or was that Scotty?
Not me. I don't think.
Jess, was that you?
No.
One of our group had that question.
It might have been me, but honestly, I wrote those questions a while ago.
Okay.
Yeah, the cover, I'm All Out of Love, your breath control and your just kind of how you're able to multi your vocal range. It just seems very unique, and I very much enjoy it. And I just want to know how you broke down that song for your vocals.
Oh, thank you very much. That's really kind. So yeah, it was a bit of a roast, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it was hard. It's a hard song to sing. She's a great vocalist, and like she kind of does put on this like thing a little bit, but I like it as a character, you know, it's cool. And it was hard not to sing it like her at certain points. There were lines that I had to be careful not to kind of like really bite down on like the R's and stuff like that too much, because I wanted to keep it us and what we were kind of the vibe we were trying to create in the room. Anyway, tangent. Breath control and stuff. So wondering how far to dig into the vocal like nerdery for this, but maybe I'll like point you in some directions if you're really interested in some vocal stuff as well. John Henney, the intelligent vocalist, he's got this amazing podcast where he talks about the voice and loads of stuff. He's brilliant. Chris Johnson, the naked vocalist, is his podcast as well, is also brilliant. Go and listen to those if you're interested in like super vocal nerdery and working stuff out. In John Henney's book, he actually talks about the 3 sort of pillars of singing. I think there's like 3.5. Not that he's wrong, I just break it down a little bit more. So I think with the voice, and this is my approach a lot of the time with it, outside of that space. So you do all the work, you work out the things, you do the mechanics, you get scientific and put the lab coat and the glasses on, and you're like, yes, okay, lovely. I now understand the physics of singing. And then, you know, you get to the space where you get to just do that. And I think you have to be able to just put down that stuff. And anyway, we all know that, right? We all know that. Like, you get to the stage, or you get to the booth, or you get to if it's just you and your piano, or you and your guitar, or you and your voice, you have to find that space of being like, this is freedom and this is just expressing, and I'm not thinking, I'm just feeling and expressing, if you're me, and a lot of other people. But getting really excited, guys.
Love it, absolutely love it.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Encourage nerding out on this channel. Do it, nerd out.
Oh, yeah.
Go crazy.
Yeah, and I want to send that back to you guys as well. Like, you do it. You have great. Like, let's keep going. This is cool. Okay, so sorry guys. Let me just collect this spaghetti brain. Vocal stuff. Right, 3.5 pillars. The 0.5 can totally be attached to the third. So first one being breathing, or airflow. So literally like the air going in and out. Breathing into your lungs, just that breath. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2 is chord closure. So the way that your vocal folds, which are like inside your larynx, they're kind of joined at one end like this. And so chord closure is how much you're sort of in control of how these are coming together, whether that's very aspirate, for example, like really, really breathy. Like so much breath, and like maybe 10% kind of closure where the frequency is kind of happening. Or you can have a real, this might be a bit loud, sorry, real absolute press where I'm unable to achieve a really, really super tight chord closure today because I've got that hay fever, puffy, like my vocal folds are like potatoes today. They're just horrible things. So I'm not able to achieve that today. But that's one kind of spectrum of what you can do with the chord closure pillar. Then you've got the articulators. Oh, wait, I've skipped one. The resonators. Okay, so we're going to talk about resonance, or vowel is the other one. So how you're shaping your throat and your mouth, or your all of this kind of space. I like to call this like the kind of the church and the tube, I guess you can call it that, or the chamber, whatever. Like, everybody has different names for these parts of the voice and anatomy. I try not to get too scientific because I think we can get too thinky about it as well. So these 3 pillars, 0.5, I'd call those the articulators. That's lips, teeth and tongue, the way that we kind of how clear our diction is when we're speaking. And we can use these things really artistically. Any of these pillars have got all these sort of variables within them, but these are the 3 main things really. So if I, for example, there's loads of misconceptions about singing as well. So if you look at something called SLS, speech level singing, that kind of comes from this approach really of like, singing is just like speaking. So as I'm speaking to you, I'm just going to pick one pitch, one frequency, and just it's still speaking. And then basically if I just add a couple of more pitches in there and make it a bit more angular or whatever, make a little pattern, and then I can put some feeling into that, and then you really lean into that, and then you really feel that, and then you're singing basically. And it's singing to speaking is really, it's just a transition. It's not this kind of totally different thing, and the voice is functioning in a very similar way. So resonance is a big thing that's overlooked with singers. I'll wrap up the pillars thing in a minute. But yeah, singing, like resonance is a huge thing, and that's kind of tone or whatever. So I can say, go and look at the IPA vowel chart on Wikipedia. It's better on, it doesn't work on mobile, unfortunately. Works only on desktop, I found out. That is a chart of weird sounding vowels. It's like a weird soundboard that's like e, oo, and it's got these weird vowel sounds in it. It's just kind of to show you the range of vowels that are available to you, and not just A, E, I, O, U. You've got, I mean, even within the spectrum of who we've got here and the different accents and things. I'm so sorry if I absolutely butchered this. Like, I spend a lot of time, you know, with a couple of Australian people, but not that much. So I'm sorry if it slips a little. But anyway, so you have.
Okay, there's so many different Aussie accents you can do. Yeah, so you're covered.
There you go. Thanks. So you've actually got vowels in your accent that we probably won't have. So like the that air sound, like in my dialect, like we don't really have that. So that's a really useful thing to pull on for certain singers, is like, if you feel like your tone is, you know, for you, if you feel like it's lacking, or it's got a hole in it, or it's got, you know, you want to try something different, go and find a vowel from another language or another dialect or something like that, and just do your exercises to something other than like a E. That's great. That's a great one. Super narrow. We call that E, 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 E. There's not a lot of room for too much going on there in the I don't know how technical to get on this. Yeah, if we talk about the tube and we talk about the chamber again in terms of that mouth and throat, you can think about also, you've got too much information. Yeah, soft palate right at the back of your throat, that thing that kind of lifts up. Hard palate's right here. Keep going back with your tongue, and you'll just, some of you might not be able to reach, some of you might be able to reach the soft palate, which is the kind of yawny space right at the top that can open up. It's like a stretchy thing. It's really hard to kind of show you how that sounds without also dropping my larynx. So this is also a kind of tone thing. We're talking, I'm totally just like throwing things. Some of them will stick, some of them won't, sorry. Yeah, so resonance and tone. I can drop my larynx really, really low to create more resonance. I don't want to keep my larynx there all the time, because otherwise I'm going to sound quite muffled and I don't sound very bright. I can maybe try and brighten it a bit by opening up some space up. I just nearly stuck my finger up my nose. Opening up some space up here, but it's still going to sound really like Noel Fielding and kind of very, very dull, for want of a better phrase. Okay, so I can also have my larynx balanced and balanced, normal, in the middle, in a comfortable position. I can raise it really high like this. I don't know why I've got Australia on. I'm so sorry, Erin. Like, this is just, yeah, I don't know, it happens with my students as well. It's really weird.
I love it.
Okay, great. Awesome. I love your, like, I'm gonna say it, this is so 2021. I love your energy, Erin. I totally love it.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
love it. Anyway,
I couldn't, I'm actually really sick, but I couldn't miss today's interview, so that's why I'm a bit quiet today.
No worries. And also, I'm just like, I get talking and then I just go. So, like, you know, no worries. I'm a bit of a what do you call it? A chatterbox, all sorts of things. So yeah, I probably would just talk over everybody anyway. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, yeah, where was I? What was I talking about? These pillars of singing. Anyway, this interesting stuff. John Henney kind of talks about it much more in his book and on his podcast, and the anatomy of like the larynx and what the head voice and the chest voice is doing. And anyway, yeah, I feel like I've maybe exhausted that point unless I really kind of go into it. So any more questions? Go ahead.
I'll say that was probably the most comprehensive but yet relatable answer I think we've ever gotten. Like, I totally understand everything you're talking about.
Anastasia, right, the Anastasia cover. Yeah, that was so much fun to do as well, but thank you. Yeah, glad that was helpful. Yes, that one in particular. So talking about those 3 pillars, I had to make sure, for example, if there's like a really long note that I want to achieve, I have to make sure my chords are it's not a really aspirate tone, because I'm going to run out of air really fast. That's what I call like expensive. It's expensive. You're using so much air all the time, like you don't need to, you know. It's cool for an effect, but it's also a hairdryer on the voice. Real bad to do all the time. John Mayer called it. Did I not, people? Anyway, love him though. Love him. He's great. Music's great. So yeah, I had to make sure, I guess, like particularly you might, if there's like that big long note you may be thinking of, is like I had to make sure like chord closure's nice and I'm not going to say tight because I don't want tension. I don't want to kind of like squeeze things. That's like killer, total killer. Like if you get nervous, you know, this often happens, and it's a lot of singing is about just getting out of your head and just as much practicing getting into the space of having to let that tension go. Excuse me. Great. Little tiny verb there. Needed to. So just learning to let that go, and yeah, and then kind of being able to get into that space. I don't know if it's like meditation necessarily, but maybe something like that's relatable. Getting into a space like that and finding that kind of right, tapping into okay, me, and being calm, feeling grounded, and all those things. In order to do that, making sure I've done my breathing exercises and stuff. But yeah, it was a tough gig. It was after after a long time of not singing. So it was a really fun roast. It was good. Yeah. Anyway, next question. I'll stop talking about that.
Oh, we lost Charles' audio.
Oh no, not again. Is it gone?
Oh, Charles. All right.
Oh, okay. Go, Jess. Go.
All right. Let's see. I have access to his stuff. Let's see. Okay. What during this whole lockdown period have you picked up any hobbies while you've been in lockdown?
Yes. Bit of yoga.
Thanks, I think I'm back.
Yay.
Yay.
Really? Yeah, I think Max had to go there as well. Bye, Max. See you soon.
Bye, Max.
Yeah, yoga. I might need some help. Rebecca, I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah.
You started skating a little bit, you said earlier.
Oh, I did. Yeah, not very much. I can't really claim too much of that. But yeah, we did a couple of weeks of on and off of trying. Yeah, I didn't have too many. I didn't really have a bad fall, and I think that Beer seems to think that's an issue, and I'm actually kind of agree with him. I think I need to have like a bit of a fall and be like, oh, I'm okay, and then be less fearful and kind of like try a little bit more. But yeah, I just want to cruise around, you know, nothing crazy. He wants me to kickflip this summer. I don't think it's gonna happen. I just don't think it's gonna happen. Or Ollie.
If it does, we want to see it.
Right. Yeah, I'm sure he'll document it if it happens. I'm sure.
Perfect.
We'll get it.
Just be sure you do it like next to a big patch of grass. This way, if you fall, just land in the grass. That way, you're fine.
Right. Yeah. There you go. Strategic skating.
When I was really, really, really young, many years ago, when I was trying to learn skating, I didn't do it near grass. I've got the scars to prove it. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Not fun.
Yeah, I'm not sure which limb doesn't have any scars for Beer. He's just covered. Yeah, he's got a lot from skating. Dangerous. But lots of fun. Yeah, so I think I did pick up some yoga, which was really fun and really good for like the mental health and stuff, and kind of got me in shape a little bit more, which was great. But yeah, I need to kind of get back on that actually. But it's really good fun. It's good. It's calming. I got into this routine in lockdown that was really good. I'd kind of come down and like it's not, I'm not like this super zen person or anything, but you know, come down, like put my essential oil diffuser on and like, you know, put my yoga mat out, put Yoga with Adrienne on YouTube and awesome music or some whatever, and like start the day that way. And it was so great. I need to get back into that habit. It was really good. Now it's sort of a little bit here, a little bit there. Taught myself to stand on my head. Super proud of that one. Never through yoga, like never thought I'd be able to do that. So handstand, which is really hard. I gave up on that one a bit. I'm going to try that this summer. I don't know why summer.
Does Nellie join you for yoga when you do it?
Yeah, she does sometimes. She's kind of learned, like, she'll pick her days, you know. You get the mat out, she's immediately like, oh, great, thank you. She's on it. A little bit sassy. Look at you like, I know I'm not supposed to do this. Yeah, okay, off, thank you. Like, I'm just trying to have my calm time. I got this like crazy dog running around. She's spaniel she's like a spaniel and a terrier cross. So she's like, we always say she's like all the beans. She's really busy. Has to have
full of energy.
Totally full of energy. Yeah. So there's definitely been times when I'm like, I'm doing a little upside down or trying something, you know, and she's suddenly like, oh, it's playtime, you're on the floor. So she's like face in my face and trying to be like, yeah, you know, it's like, no, I'm upside down. Like if I go the wrong way, I could like kick some furniture or something, or you are like, well, so it's difficult sometimes. But yeah, but she's great. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
Just now. Yeah, she's used to it. Yeah, but yeah, no, I
Oh.
don't know. I guess I kind of had some time to get back to some songwriting, which was great. Just made a bit of space for that, and kind of this is like halfway this studio. I've been working on it, and it's becoming a bit more sort of like my space, which is really good.
Just from
yes.
what we can see, the studio there looks very zen, actually.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay, chill. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got a few things here. We've got a few things going on. I did actually move a couple of things. We've got like a troll. I don't know how to tell you that. I moved it for a reason. Yeah, a troll from it's a bit far from my childhood that often sits here.
I love it.
No relation to trolls then, I take it, yeah.
Similar colour hair actually, although yours is a bit more like reddy maybe actually. Yeah, pink hair as well, pink troll. I love the pink hair. I did the pink hair thing. I don't know whether to go back or not. It's all just
Do it. Join me.
so
Join
great.
me.
It's all just thrown out. I don't know what to do. I need a haircut. It's taking over. It's got an opinion. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We feel you. We feel you.
You realize, yeah, with us that, yeah, there you go. It's just, it gets caught in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry. Next question.
Nope. So once all of this COVID insanity is over, or at least reduced, who would you like to collaborate with?
I mean, collaborate with. Yeah. Yeah. Great question. I mean, I'm kind of, I'm thinking less about collaboration. It's just like seeing my friends, and the first place we want to go really is Norway. Obviously, we're going to come see you guys. It's like total priority. We keep checking the news, and we had this like fly list the other day that was like, oh, you can go to these places only, international travel. And Beer just kind of like read the list, and he was reading a bunch of things, and I was like, and we need, we're going to go see his parents in Spain as well. So we're just like, Norway or Spain, Norway, Spain. No, Norway, Spain. No, not interested. Okay, we'll wait. We got to wait. So yeah, but in terms of collaborations, I mean, I've got some stuff. It's so like not definable or sort of whatever right now. So yeah, there's a few things kind of going on that's it's things that you guys probably won't have seen. So there's a lot I've been working on over the last few years that has just been me and a couple of other people or whatever, and I keep sort of pushing this ball along. Sorry, nearly just took the ship down. Pushing this ball uphill a little bit, and then life gets busy or something else comes along and you do this, and it's not really a priority, and now I'm like, what? I need to just put my music out. I need to record my music and get something out there, because there's so many different things. I don't know where to start, and then I just thought I've just got to start somewhere. So tipping away at a couple of things there. Bledig's doing stuff.
Well, on that subject specifically, I'm going to jump a couple of our questions, rearrange them a little bit. My compliments and loving Regifted Volume 1.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What are you thinking for Volume 2? Do you have any ideas yet? Do you have a time frame on that?
I mean, yeah, like we've got no, not yes, and yeah, it depends which order. So
Very clear answer right there. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, sorry. So yeah, there's some plans. So actually, yeah, the plans like slightly fluid, as with most things with me, because I'm just, like I said, ball of spaghetti, fluid spaghetti, something. So yeah, Volume 2 definitely yes, going to happen, and there'll be maybe 10 tracks on there, and we've got a few ideas. There's a Coldplay song on there, I think we're going to do. We've started a few. We've started 3, 4, something like that. It's really hard to choose. Let me just have a look at my playlist.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can just sort of have a look at a couple of these. I mean, the trouble is it just gets you just have so many suggestions and so many kind of do this, and I had a huge hole in my not in my childhood, but like my access to music and everything was kind of quite limited, not from like a kind of like I wasn't allowed necessarily, but I just wasn't really exposed to a lot of different types of music, and I listened. I wasn't really kind of aware that you could like go to a shop and like, this sounds so ridiculous, like just go to town and like go to a record store, a CD shop, or whatever else, and buy these things. It was kind of took what was kind of available to me, or if friends made me like mix CDs or USBs. Sometimes there's a USB stick with some like songs on it, stuff like that. Yeah. Oh, hang on, so many memories. They're all coming back. So what are we talking about? Songs from childhood and stuff. Yeah, so I didn't have access to loads of different music and a lot of what was current or things like I didn't ever watch MTV or anything like that. Would have been super cool if I did, but I didn't. I was busy learning Bach and other things and going to church and being a really good girl. So MTV was just like for the bad kids, we're in the space that I was in at that time. So yeah,
that's how I was raised too. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it didn't, and yeah, things like metal music and stuff like that is still like, oh, there's people in my kind of home community who I love so much that are also just so surprised that I'm in this space. And actually, like, I think Frog Leap's changed their views on like metal. I don't want to speak for them, but like I see a little bit of a different kind of perspective with stuff actually, and they're just like, it's so fun. Like, yeah, so fun. Yeah. And it's there's so much energy. Like, yeah, it's so much energy. And yeah, it's a different space, it's really cool. So
I've used Frog Leap to expand other people's opinion of metal in that exact same way. So yeah, no, I hear what you're saying there.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And I think like it's it's just so funny as well at times. There's so much irony in so much of it. So at a show we might be like singing Genie in a Bottle. It's Christina Aguilera, right? That's like, what is that? Early 2000s, like pop. That's pop. It's pop. She's an amazing vocalist, like totally. But yeah, it's pop. It's Genie in a Bottle. I'm a genie in a bottle, baby. And you've got these like hairy guys with like massive beards, and they're drinking out of, I don't know, they're not German, but drinking out of horns, and they're just like having this, like, where was it? Carmageddon, where everybody was so serious, man. It was it was great. It was a great festival, but very rainy, if I remember correctly. And Carmageddon, and everybody's drinking out of horns, and everybody's got like cut off denim jackets. I love it, by the way. I wear like black almost exclusively because it's black goes with black, and we all know why we wear black. So I guess everybody has their reasons for their wardrobes. So anyway, all these massive dudes and everything, and there's like, I don't know, that festival in particular, I think I saw like maybe 4 women or something like that as well, and it's like, oh, hi, like when like a VW camper guy like drives past each other. It was kind of one of those moments, ladies. It was like, oh, hey, hi, you're having a great day. Like, it was really funny. But anyway, all these massive dudes, and they're all very serious. And then Leo's like, yeah, I think we're gonna wear I'm gonna wear the Hawaiian shirt because these guys like need to smile a little bit. I don't want to, don't just take it so seriously. And then we kind of getting up and just like jumping around and doing like, we open with Party Rock, is it LMFAO thing, just so great. Anytime I hear that song now as well, I get super pumped, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's not beginning, it's not even beginning yet. We've still got a while to wait. Anyway, totally off topic. So
no, my favorite one that absolutely completely bumfuzzles people is when I actually have them hear Leo's version of Let It Go. They're like,
yeah,
what? Wait, Let It Go? What? But it works.
Yeah.
It absolutely works as metal. Are you serious? Yeah.
I think because he highlights as well, like, sometimes in production style there might be songs that we really don't like, or they're associated to or attached to a particular genre or character, or whatever, and then actually the bones of it, like what I call like the Kumbaya version of that song, or the kind of campsite version of that song, like, is actually really good. And so I think it's also like in the song selection, sometimes he's just, yeah, it's great. It's about a good song as well, and kind of like putting it in a totally different, like picking something up, turning it around and being like, yeah, but how about like this? And then it's kind of like, yeah. So from both sides, you've got the, if it's as simple as this, which it's not, but the metal guys, and then you've got like the pop or the non-metal guys, right? And then they go, I like this now because this song is accessible, this is really cool to me. And the metal guy goes, I like this because it's metal and it's also a great song. So anyway, it works.
Yeah, exactly.
So fun.
So what is, being obviously the vocalist that you've talked about, what is the one place that you've always wanted to go and sing that in your opinion has like the absolute most perfect acoustics you've ever wanted to sing in?
Oh, that's really interesting. I don't know that I have a place like, Actually, you know what? Like, it's a really silly local one, but there's Brighton Electric Studio, which obviously closed down like everything else over the lockdown. I had access to it at one point when nobody was around. And there's a stairwell in there that's all concrete and it's in this old tram shed that's been renovated, and it's rehearsal and recording studio facility. And yeah, they have this amazing concrete stairwell. And I was like, I had the dog with me, and I was like, no one's around. So I just walked up a few stairs and had a little sing, and was like, oh, this is quite nice. Walked up a few more and thought, yeah, no, that's not so good. And then walked up a few more and was like, oh, okay, round here, this is really, really nice. If I face this way, I got super nerdy on it. I was like, yeah, okay. So I now know, like, if the building's empty, which it never is now really, but that stair and that spot, if I face that wall, sounds delicious. It sounds really, really nice. The reverb's just like, oh, this is so nice. Anyway. So, but I mean, when I was younger, and when I was in the more kind of choral space and classical space, Royal Albert Hall was like the kind of, or Carnegie Hall, I guess, you know, either of those would be like the place to kind of go. And I guess I thought that wasn't really possible then moving out of that space. But actually, I mean, all kinds of people play those venues, not just the classical people. So, yeah, why not go and sing there one day? That would just be a cool thing. But also, if not, that's also cool. So, you know, I'm easy. But yeah, anything that we had the car park video from years ago, actually, that I think it was on Rob Chapman's channel from probably going on 9-10 years ago. And myself and Rabir and Rob and Natasha, his partner, partner at the time, sang in a car park after going for like a meal somewhere. And there was no one else around there as well. And we sang a couple of different things, and it was really fun and sounded lovely. So I'm a big, huge reverb fan. Like, big reverbs, give me big holes. There's a Logic, I think it belongs to Logic. Like, it's one of their reverb presets that Bear introduced me to called Nave. And I've got a couple of adjustments to make to that. And I love that. I love that. But then, you know, I think I need to also remember there's space for like dry vocals, and there's space for crunchy vocals and all sorts of things. But give me a long reverb. I love to sing into a long reverb, and if it's taken away, I definitely sing differently. You know, when we're tracking stuff for Bledig, which is a 3-piece trip hoppy, he hates that, Rich hates that, sorry, space jazz, weird kind of thing that Bledig is. Yeah, when we're tracking for that, if I haven't got the reverb, I sing it totally differently. The delivery is completely different. It's like that's a cushion that I kind of depend on with certain parts of my push and pull of the vocal machine, I guess. Yeah. Yes, that was very metaphoric and hopefully answered your question anyway in some way.
Oh, absolutely did. Absolutely did. Yeah.
Mhm.
Actually, talking about Frog Leap, I'm actually going to be handing it off to Scotty here now, and she's got just a couple of Frog Leap related questions and touring related questions that she'd like to ask. So take her away, boss lady.
Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
So how did you actually meet Leo? How did this all come about?
I mean, initially, I think through a NAMM show, and Beer met Leo through NAMM, maybe through Chapman. I don't know if I'm right with that. Feel free to weigh in if I'm wrong, Beer. But I guess through that, yeah, it's one of those, like, I'm not really too sure. And then I think we would see him again at a couple of events like that. He invited us to come stay at his house, hang out with him. He was a sound guy. We really, got on. Totally easy company. Yeah, I think that's kind of the story. I mean, I do remember him, like, before I kind of knew him well, he was walking around NAMM with a really long wig and shades and, you know, this whole like semi kind of disguise on, which was really great. And I was like, cool. Yeah, cool.
Funnily enough, you mentioned NAMM show. Do you remember Jess by any chance?
Jess. Okay, so yes, actually.
I had shorter hair.
I do, yeah. And I think, and I had pink hair, right? And I dyed it. And I dyed like our motel bath, like really pink, like that morning. And I was like, I'll just try this like pink shampoo. Anyway, that's a whole other story. It just looked like a murder scene, but from like a bubblegum character, you know.
Yep.
Anyway. Yes, and it was you and your partner at the hey, did we also meet? Yeah. Got it.
Yep. We were there. You guys were lovely. That was like the highlight of our NAMM show. I was hanging out with you guys.
That was a good day. That was a really good day. Yeah.
We had a good time hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
Lovely
Oh,
people.
thank you. Yeah, no, you too. Yeah, we were like, oh, those guys cool. Yeah. Cool.
And very drunk.
You're very drunk, or they were very drunk.
They were very drunk. I'm sober today.
Didn't notice, or if I did, I probably didn't care. Yeah, you have your day, like you do you. I probably would have been if I could have been, you know.
Had a few beers. It's fine. Oh, we were fine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, actually, no, maybe I did too. Anyway, yeah, it was a good day.
It was a good day.
It was a good
Lovely.
day. Yeah, I was so that's really nice actually. Do it that way. So sweaty. See, tangent queen. I'll just take you there.
No, we love a good tangent. We had a band on a couple of weeks ago, and it was 2.5 hours.
Oh wow, yeah.
We did about 4 questions.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, that's pretty
good. You do
45. It took 45 minutes for us to get to the very first question.
nice.
So hard.
Yeah.
All right, so we're doing okay. We're doing okay.
You're doing brilliant. We love it. We love it. It's all good. So, did you expect Africa to blow up as big as it did? Because obviously it does really well, and it was quite surprising on it.
You know, I don't think so. No, it was a bit of a sort of nonchalant thing because no. Yeah, so before we went to see Leo in Norway, he'd come to Brighton, I think, and we were like, cool. And so we went for a beer with him in this bar that no longer exists, but it was super cool. They had these tiny little gigs in the basement. You had to go down this tiny like spiral staircase. It was sick. Anyway, we went there. It was called the Blue Man, and had a couple of drinks, and it came on in the bar. Great song of all time, pretty much. When I was a student as well, I used to go with my housemates in the car. We had 3 songs. Sorry, it wasn't a long car journey. 3 songs. It's Africa, 2 other songs, and Rick Astley was definitely one of the other ones, and
love it.
something else ridiculous, some classic song anyway. And then we'd get to the shop and we'd be like, we're here, and the playlist finished. But it came on in the shop, in the bar. So we were like, dude, you should totes do this. He was like, oh yeah, I haven't done this. Okay, cool. Anyway, however long later it was when we got to Norway, he was like, do you guys want to kind of jump in and, you know, add something onto a track we're doing? But I was like, yeah, sure. Like I just got out of the shower or something, just like threw on something. He's like, yeah, cool. Okay, it's Africa. We're gonna sing this. Oh, okay, cool. And then we were like, whoa. He's like, he kind of like saved it. I don't know. Maybe he didn't. It probably wasn't intentional, but it felt like he'd like saved it and been like, oh yeah, great idea. We'll do that. And then when we arrived, it was like, we're doing this, and it was really fun. Yeah, I was certainly more shy as a person at the time. I was kind of like a bit camera freaked and stuff, and didn't really know how to just chill out. So yeah.
You definitely got a new groove with Dance Monkey though.
Yeah.
Definitely. That looked like a good one to shoot. That looked great fun.
Yeah, I think because there were so many of the other guys there as well that it was like slightly reminiscent of tour, and it just kind of had some of the same vibes as that. It was really, it was so fun. It was a good time.
Yeah.
It's hard not to be really like sad and nostalgic at the moment.
Oh,
it is for everyone.
I know, and you don't want it to be a downer.
No, it's cool. It's nice, really. I just drift off into memories later. Yeah.
I know. Bless your heart. Do you have any like fun band / tour stories to tell us? Because we did a Never Have I Ever, so we found out quite a few things, but I'm not allowed to talk about them. So.
Oh, interesting. About me, but
not you actually.
Oh, right.
About Eric.
Oh, about Eric. Oh, brilliant.
It was there nodding. Bless his heart.
I don't know if I've got any like there's so many stories, and there's no sort of particular priority or order, but I do remember excuse me, a really good night in Prague when the bus broke down because the roads were like super aggressive on the bus, and basically I think I don't know, something happened. Anyway, we had to change buses, and it wasn't coming till the morning, so we were like, oh no, we're not driving to Paris, we're staying here, let's go grab a drink in some cave bar or something. And we did, and it was great fun, but not everybody came, and that's cool, you know. It's totally cool. Excuse me, I'm not a huge like party animal, but I like to go there sometimes, you know. So that was a nice little spontaneous night, and because I'm the only girl on the tour as well, so which I think in a lot of other situations would be quite it could be difficult, could be uncomfortable, could be whatever. I love all of the guys, like brothers, like there is nothing, like it's great, basically it's awesome. So there are some issues with, like, I'm not going to get all like super feminist while we're here, but yeah, there are some issues with touring and being a woman and all sorts of things, but these guys are like, they're just all my bros. So like particularly on this night we went out and we ended up at this, like, it felt like a kind of stag do type vibe because it was pretty late, and you know, there's like a different floor that's like, one's like disco and one's like, I don't know, something else and something else and something else, all these different vibes on the floor anyway. And we were just like dancing away and just being real silly, and these guys, it's all like super pop club music, and there's Eric and Ali and all the guys are just like windmilling their hair and being like super metal, and it was great because this place was packed with like, you know, this kind of thing. And yeah, they were just, everyone was just having a great time. And what was great was I could also have a nice like night and just like have a good time and dance and feel like totally awesomely safe with like 6 to 8, I can't remember how many people came, of my bros just like totally looking out for me. And at any point, because there were a couple of, you know, there's always a bit of a, there's a weird pocket of people wherever you go in the world, especially if you're a lady, and there's just some weird stuff that you experience that you just really kind of wish you didn't have to, and it's really complicated to explain anyway. But anytime anything weird happened, there was just like 6 people that like, no. Just like, no. And I'm like, thanks guys, yeah, like, I'm just having a really great time. So that was a cool memory, that was a cool night. Yeah, and then oh, and we went to a bar, another bar, I think maybe it was before that, maybe it was after that, I'm not sure. And they had like screens behind the bar and stuff, and then one of Leo's videos was on the screen and we were like, yeah, Leo wasn't there, but we were like, yeah, that's our mate. And it was kind of really weird and cool moment. So, but yeah, the barmaid was like, yeah, whatever. She was like, whatever.
Touring does look good fun, to be fair, but I bet, you know, like, is there any parts of touring that everybody hates? There's just like, oh, this sucks. Is there any sort of parts that are just not the best?
Yeah, I don't know, because I think like so much of what you're doing depends on everybody's like disposition, I guess, and everybody's mood and everybody's like relationship with each other. In my book, if a relationship's not right, in terms of any kind of relationship, like friendship, whatever, like any kind of relationship, if that's not really right, then the foundations are a bit wobbly. And like, I think we're just so like, I don't want to sound again like this like super hippie, but we're so blessed to just like have such a good relationship with everybody and an understanding, and you know, there's pretty good communication, and then there's very rarely, I think, friction of any kind. Sometimes after a few days, you know, if everybody's kind of feeling a little bit itchy and a bit tired, a little bit like hungover or something, and was that my phone? Was it?
No.
It was so loud. I was like, is that my phone? Yeah, so you know, there's like, people can be like less talkative maybe, but I don't know. Yeah, there's not really any issues, but things that people hate, or things that we all hate, like, or something. I mean, you can't poo on the bus. Like, that's pretty standard for a tour bus. You've had this conversation, have you?
Yes, we have.
Yeah, everyone will tell you that you can't poop on the bus.
Funnily enough, that was the story I was thinking of.
Yeah. Oh yeah, right. Did he tell you that story?
They told us a lot that night. If you want the footage, I can send it over. I'm not allowed to put it online, but I can send it.
That was like a private conversation. We can
no, that's why I'm not going too deep. I'm not going too deep. We're not going too deep, but yeah, we found out about loads of fun things.
Yeah, no, I was all right. Yeah, I was going to say I was there, but thank you for thanks for the heads up. But it was a really unfortunate experience for him. So I do feel for Eric. Yeah, it's a good story. It's a good story.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, really good story. So yeah, but what else? I'm trying to think of. I mean, there's all kind of things.
Getting out of the bus when we're taking ferries.
What, getting out? Oh yeah, actually, that's a great one. Great one. Yes, that is horrible. So actually, I say that to be honest as well. Once you're like, it sucks, but then you're like, oh, my friends, hey, so it's fine. You know, I don't know. There's like a way that it's kind of fine. But yeah, there was this one ferry that was particularly horrible, like really, really horrible. I usually get like, you know, travel sickness and stuff like that sometimes, and actually I was totally fine this time, which I was really relieved that I wasn't sick on the bus or anything. I don't know, just having a great time. So must have been that vibes healed my travel sickness, or I got like bus legs or sea legs or whatever you call them. But yeah, getting on the bus, getting on the ferry from the bus, you know, whoever's, you know, the driver kind of gets you there, and it might be at like 3-4 in the morning or something, and you've been asleep already 2-3-4 hours or whatever time you kind of got to sleep. And then it's like, okay, someone pokes their head into your little thing. They're like, okay, you're going to get up now. Okay, yeah, I got to get up now. Come on, give us your passports or whatever. And you got to get off the bus. You got to take your passport and you got to go and do this thing. And you can't stay. It's not really safe, I think, to stay in the bus.
Yeah.
Like, and sleep, basically, because you could drown if the thingy goes down, or something to do with like some gas poisoning or something. I don't even know. Basically, I know it's not safe. So I get up. Go up, eat some soggy chicken nugget lunch with like, you know, I don't even know. It's like 3 in the morning and you're like, someone else is getting food and you don't even realize you're just sort of following them. You're like, yeah, I'll have a hash brown, just like one. So if you know, have those, you must have those in the States, hash browns. Yeah, you maybe call them something else. Yeah,
they're all nodding. They're all nodding.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, we know. Yep.
You know, but just like a really horrible, like frozen sort of softy, gross one. Anyway, and you just sort of buy like randomly one of those and a sausage or something, and you just sat there, plastic fork and knife. The whole ferry smells like shit, and there's water everywhere. And I don't know why it smelled so bad of shit that day, but it did. And yeah. So that's kind of the thing. And you're like, do I just try and curl up on a chair and like go into kind of, you know, rest mode or like sort of semi-sleep just to see it out a little bit, or do I find someone to have a chat with? And you're like, yeah, no one's really up for a chat right now. I'll try and have a little sleep. Just often small enough that I can just go on a 2-seater thing and just about fit. You do get your head dushed every now and then, but it's all right.
Yeah, it's not all glam, is it? On
no, oh no. Always useful to have a pair of trackies real close as well if you've got to get off the bus like real quick, or like get out of bed, whatever. But yeah, it's not the army, so.
Bless her. And then my last question is, what is it like touring with your significant other? Couldn't say that there.
Yeah, actually pretty cool, because it well, like personally, it removes a thing of like, you know, a lot of the time he's away or he's traveling or whatever, and it's just another time. It's a time that I don't have to be like, oh man, he's, you know, going away for a little while or whatever. So so it's nice to be able to go and do that together. It's cool because I feel, I'm safe. Like my partner of life is here, and everything, and we get to do this together is a bit, it's a bit surreal, really. And it's a lot of fun, and it's not something, I guess, that we thought, because we don't really do, our music is so different, really, a lot of the time. So it's funny to have that crossover. Although, you know, Bledig supported Tosca on a show a while ago, and that was really cool. So actually, maybe there's more crossover there than I initially thought, I guess. But yeah, we try not to be too like coupley, and it's sort of like, yeah, I know he's there and I'm here, and we're like, if we need anything or whatever, but like, we're ultimately just 2 other people on the bus, and like, it's not fair to be all like, we're not super into PDA anyway, but I'm not going to be all like, oh my gosh, like, oh, my boyfriend's here, this is so great, I'm loving my life, let me just like kiss you loads, because it's really unfair on the rest of the guys. Like, you know, it's sorry. You know, the guys have got families at home, and they've got like, you know, some of them got kids at home and stuff, and they don't have their wife or their partner with them, and it's like, I don't want to rub that in their face. It's really unfair. I'd find it really tough to be away from a bit, but yeah, do. So we try to respect that. Like, his bunk is like down there, I'm up here. I like it that way. I like my independence as well, you know, it's my space. So yeah, try not to be too coupley, but yeah, ultimately it's pretty great. It's there's probably a couple of moments that, like, I don't know, maybe the guys probably saw more than we noticed. I don't know if there's any moments where we're like, oh no, blah, 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 shut up, okay, yeah, right. You know, like, I don't know if there's any like miniature bickerings or anything that I can't remember, but yeah. But no, ultimately, yeah, really positive.
Yeah, I was literally looking at Kai when you said that. I was like,
Yeah, I'm trying to read him from it's just this tiny tic-tac on my screen. I'm trying to work out from this expression like what are you remembering that I haven't.
Oh, thank you for answering my questions though. It was really lovely. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, thanks for being interested.
Oh, I guess I'll take over. I think I'm the last group of questions. Just I get the random, they say fun questions, but I feel like they're the rando questions left over nobody else wanted to ask.
Right. The oddball.
Awesome.
I like it.
Oddball ones. Yeah, that's me. So I did have a question. Is it true that you got your nickname Tiny Hugs because you give hand hugs with your tiny little hands?
Oh, that's a really sweet connection, but no.
Oh,
No.
That's how I remember you.
I
the tiny
know.
hugs.
Yeah, tiny. Actually, I think somebody showed. I don't know. Someone showed that to Rabia once. I don't know who. I can't remember who. And then
You're crushing my dreams now.
I'm so
tiny
sorry.
hug.
I feel like I told you this.
Okay.
Yeah, like but then he passed it on to me, I guess, and then he never did anymore. So I guess maybe I brought it life again by bringing it to you, Kai. But it became a bit of a thing on the tour
Definitely.
where sometimes especially you're tired, and everything as well, and you want to give your bro or whatever a little bit of like, come on man, you can do it, but you don't want to be annoying as well. You don't want to be you don't want to over egg it. Sometimes everyone's tired. Sometimes people need the energy and the come on guys, let's get this shit together. And sometimes people need a bit of, all right, I think the team just need to chill, but an acknowledgement that we're there and that we're still cool, and I think that was me and Kai's a lot of the time, little hand hug, which you cannot do yourself because the other thumb's in the way. So yeah, it was like a little thing. It was very cool. We can carry on.
Yeah, that's one of the things I miss the most from the tour. Yeah, I miss the tiny hug.
Yeah, tiny hugs.
So Rabia was the guy that introduced you to that. Okay.
Yeah, but somebody
Next time, Rabia, seeing you. I want to get it from the source now.
Yeah, but where is the true source though? I believe this is a torch that needs to be, just passed around. I think guys need to continue this as well. The hand hug. It's a special and very cute thing.
We'll write that down. Next time any of us meet Hannah or Rabia, we'll give them hand hugs.
Well, hand hugs. I'll probably at first be like, oh yeah, and then we'll do it, and I'll just get the timing wrong, but then we'll do it right after that. I promise. Just
yeah. Reminder first. Hand hug.
Announce the hand hug as it's coming in. It's hand hug.
This is a hand hug. You just come in like that. Yeah.
Ask for consent before you go.
Yeah. That's it. I know, thinking about like being at NAMM and like touching so many people's hands and things that people have touched and stuff, like, which kind of doesn't really freak me out, but thinking about it now after COVID is so anti-COVID and opposite.
So everybody will have like a pocket of hand sanitizer at the ready when we're back out in the world again.
Yeah, immediately.
Ready to wash your hands.
Exactly. The elbow started at NAMM, I'm pretty sure I started there. But yeah, no, Tiny Hugs actually came from originally Beer went on a tour with when he was touring with Dorje, with Phil X and the Drills, and they did their first kind of bus tour, and they had a couple like Liverpudlian, right? Is that right? Scouse. Anyway, great guys, Chris Bibby and Paul Glover. Yeah.
You're right. Yes, guys. It took me a minute. I don't know.
I really questioned that for a moment. Yeah, and I think it was one of them. I think it was Chris. And there's them two like massive guys, and I'm like, I'm not like tiny, but I'm 5'1" and a bit, like 5'1.5", maybe 3/4. Grew a little bit in my early 20s, and then a bit small. So next to them, I'm really tiny. So every time they saw me, they'd be like, "Oh, Tiny Hugs," and they'd just give me a hug. And then one of them was like, "Oh, that should be your Twitter handle," and I was like, "Ooh, I'm gonna put it on my Instagram though, thanks." And then it nearly went the other day. Actually, we nearly just changed it back to Hannah Boulton, but I said no, I like it, let's keep it, it's fun. anyway, yeah,
we love our updates from our Tiny Hugs.
Yeah, I know, I need to get back on that. Yeah, I've been very off social media really this year, done a little bit here and there, but yeah, been a bit working behind the scenes on some stuff, hiding a little bit, coming back out.
Okay, take a break. Break every once in a while is really good.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah,
we'll just, when you get back to it, we'll be there.
Oh, thank you. Nice. So will I. I'll be there.
Yeah.
More coming.
my next question had to do with Water Bear. And are you still doing stuff with Water Bear, and how has that collaboration gone for you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I like am in love a little bit with Water Bear, actually. Like, in terms of like, music education is pretty much never perfect. You know, it's like a really hard thing. Anything with arts, anything with something that's creative or subjective or pretty much human in any way other than like biology, I guess, or some kind of physio science or sports stuff, like, you know, it's just really hard to quantify like a grade or a mark on that stuff. So I find music education in general just a little bit, I went to ACM, you know, but Water Bear have just got so many things right. There are a lot of things that I wish ACM was. They really put emphasis on the practical stuff pre-pandemic, of course, you know, but they're a large part of their modules with their teaching is based on, and with the degree is based on like, okay, now go and do, like, if your project is your band, then you've got to do something with it. So use your social media, let's help you get gigs, let's do this, let's do that. You know, they're really proactive with their students. I'm in a really lovely place with them, actually, at the minute, where we're off term currently. The students are all finishing off their final dissertations and things like that, but I'm a sort of floating friend, I suppose, of Water Bear, so I kind of come and go a little bit, do mentoring with some of the young artists there, which I bloody love, excuse my language. It's really really rewarding and just so exciting to like connect with these kids, and some of them aren't kids, actually, some of them are like, you know, my age, and a couple of them are older as well. They have more mature students on some of the courses, which is great as well. Yeah, it's just cool because you get to connect with these kids, and it's not like it's super structured. The mentoring sessions are currently all on Zoom because of the pandemic, but it's like, hey, what have you got today? What can I help you with? What do you want to talk about? Sometimes I want to talk about touring, and sometimes they want to have conversations about vocal stuff. Sometimes they want to have conversations about, you know, home production, or how to make a demo, or how to write an email to a, you know, PR person, or whatever. Stuff like that. Yeah, and then occasionally they'll be like, hey, we don't have a vocal coach today, can you come and like take this class? And I'm like, yeah, totally. And then I go in and I'm like, cool, what are you supposed to be learning? Okay, here's this presentation, let's do this. And then, you know, we kind of go through that, and that's cool. And then of course I go off on a million tangents, and before I know it, I'm talking about like the 3.5 pillars of singing, and getting them to make kind of weird noises and stuff. So it's, yeah, that's really fun to do. Keeps me a bit more on my toes, I think, with my vocals as well. Like, oh yeah, right, like some things, you know, I might be struggling with, and it's like, oh yeah, honey, you need to exercise your head voice. Like, you can't just take 6 months off and then just expect to kind of, oh, I can just kind of go there now and just do all these things and be really agile and have it together. It's like, oh yeah, I can't preach to these kids, like, I keep saying kids, but, you know, to these students, exercise regularly, but like your voice, you know, or whatever it is, and I can't say also look after your mindset and look after your body and all these things and not do it myself. So there's an element also of, they push me to not be a massive hypocrite with a bunch of stuff, but also like there's a lot of realness and a lot of, you know, sometimes it's almost like a counseling session in the type of, like, not counseling session, I'm not a counselor, but, you know, we're just talking about life, and that's great. And then I'm also running a songcraft class with them, which I love. So I'm a sort of facilitator for a bunch of young songwriters who go, either I've got an idea and I want to make this into a song, or I want to write a song, I've got no idea. And so we kind of look at, here's some starters for this stuff, here's some song starters, or here's how to like pull ideas from here, or take something and, you know, nothing and make it into something, or tap into that feely space, or like, are you an artist, are you a BVs guy, like, what do you want to do? That's kind of, it's all really tailor-made, and Water Bear make that, like, really, they really encourage that, basically, the kind of independence with the students as well, to be very much them, you know, who they are as an artist, even if they haven't quite figured that out yet. That message is going in, so it's great. Yeah, and I do the odd, Bledig have done a not a masterclass, we did a gig with them. I think I did a little masterclass a few years ago. And then in the summer, I'm doing a songwriting factory, which is really exciting. So yeah, they're holding I think there's actually 2 places open to people. I don't know if it's available to anyone outside the UK. I haven't got much details on it, but I know there's 2 places open to people outside of Water Bear, and it's a songwriting factory, a 2-day workshopy machine type thing where there's kind of a small groups, you get into groups and workshop different songs, and there's and Sasha Scarbeck, I think he's called. I don't know who these people are initially. Like now I do, but I didn't. Like I said, there's just so much that I just don't know, that I don't even know. Yeah, he wrote Wrecking Ball, the Miley Cyrus song, and then there's someone else who writes for Ed Sheeran. And anyway, it's going to be really exciting, so I'll make some noise about that when it's happening, in case anyone's interested or there's any like online events. But yeah, they've kind of been my lifesaver actually, I think, in this pandemic as well, in terms of, you know, paying my rent and also having contact with people. You know, it's all been through a screen. They asked me to take this class, but then, and I said, yeah, absolutely, like get in a room. Yes, people are like writing stuff and I get to say, right, sing that bit, I'll sing this bit. See now, like when you add that totally works. So don't doubt yourself, bro. You know, we get to do that. We get to workshop these things and say like, push harder with these lyrics, or this is the placeholder. So that's great, but let's, you know, work on this. I don't know. It's great to push these things with them. But then it was like, oh, the pandemic, so it all had to be over Zoom. Really hard to teach a bunch of songwriters and get them to like workshop together on a computer. So yeah, we had like 2 terms like that where it was just working through a screen. It was really challenging, but they were all amazing. And then it was back on site, which was also really scary. And it was like, oh my gosh, talking about breaking through fear barriers again. You know, I'm like, nobody's vaccinated, and like, you just want us to all just be in a room without masks, and it's like, fine, okay. And I have to like set an example, and you know, I like that. I like, you know, taking a bit of responsibility and setting an example, and not too much though. I was so scared, and then I did it, and I was like, oh, this was great. Right, human interaction, musicians, I'm talking with creative people, this is awesome. Reteaching myself that I can get back out in the world again, you know. Anyway, massive tangent, yes, but yeah, it was just kind of cool to have that, I guess, as well, when there wasn't much contact, and to have that with all at so many different levels and working on so many different things, you know, working with so many different musicians in that time. So that was cool. I love Waterbury. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's education is like I said, really hard with music, but I think they've got it really, really, really good there, and not too many students. Like they keep the class sizes smaller so that everybody's seen, everybody's heard.
That's good.
Yeah, it's a good place. It's a good place.
I'd have to say, I think if I was a student, you seem very relatable and easy to talk to, and I think your students are probably pretty lucky to have you as a vocal coach. You explain things in a way that's easy to visualize, even if you don't quite know the theory behind it. Right, you have a good way of picturing it so that, you know, someone else can maybe visualize what you're talking about. So I think your students are very lucky to have you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think I'm a very visual person, very kind of visual learner, and or like I learn by doing. So if someone's like, here's the instructions, like blah, 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 that's what kind of went in a lot of the time, you know. It's sort of like, if you go, you do this and then you're gonna do that, I'm like, totally got it, seen you do it, got it now, you know. So I think being like, my mum's an artist, and she's all pretty like artsy, you know how artists do. She paints and she sculpts and she does all kinds of stuff. She's amazing, but she's got this perspective, you know, having been through loads of art education as well, that's also really like wibbly wobbly and really hard to kind of get a mark. And what does it mean, really? No one's ever seen my degree certificate since I got it, you know. I didn't get a good as mark as I could have done if I'd have just not got a boyfriend and, you know, paid attention a little bit more. But hey, like, I think you know, yeah, I think it's good to get good grades if you can try hard and you can do that. And I'd like, you know, I could certainly have tried a little bit harder, but also no regrets. Here we are. This is some good choices, I guess, in hindsight. Some good choices.
You made some good choices.
Some good choices, right? Yeah, good choices are good. Good choices are good. I like good choices. Yeah.
Speaking of some of your good choices, you and your good choice Bia, a few years ago, you guys made a video about making cookies together.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I was wondering if, during all this lockdown, if you have improved upon, continued your couples baking / cooking skills together.
Yeah, that was we did that a few times around that time. Like, I think, I was a student, I was eating and making a lot of cookies and pancakes and pasta and all that kind of stuff. It was great. Yeah, I had some comment the other day, I think, about that, and I kind of forgot the video was there about the birds' tiny nostrils or something. It's like the birds will smell them through their tiny nostrils, and it was kind of a joke, but I think people have thought I was being really like, oh no. Anyway, it's quite funny. But no, we've done a lot of cooking together though. Like, it's been great actually. We've never spent this much time together in our relationship. Like, we've been together 9+ years, and this last lockdown, it's been like, well, okay, cool. Yeah, we're here all the time now. Like, okay, like, let's I guess we'll just like do some stuff together then. So like, we have to eat dinner, let's cook, and he's kind of on this diet at the minute, that's not a diet, but some food choices that he's making of whatever, and it's hard, like, because he was vegan before, and like I wasn't vegan, I was veggie for a while, and I'm like not anymore, and anyway, we've kind of just always had these weird crossovers with whatever diet or food choices or meat eating or not we've kind of had these weird crossovers where there's only been really brief moments of us eating the same stuff. So food's been really like a bit of a solo thing for us, I guess, for so many years. So it's been great in lockdown to just, what do you want for dinner? Yeah, cool. I mean, yeah, great, let's cook it. This is a cool recipe. Oh, we watched MasterChef, I think, and we were like, whoa, cooking, this is great. And kind of got like, really like re-inspired. So we had a lot of times during lockdown where it was both of us in the kitchen, and he's kind of teaching me like his way of making this bit, and I'm teaching him like my way of doing this bit, and okay, tips, sweet. We have a little review, we have dinner. Is it a bit of this? Do you think it's a bit overdone? Is it a bit, yeah, okay, it's good. All right, okay. Like, we have our review. Yeah, less crumb next time, whatever. But he's on this kind of like, it's fairly limited, I guess, with his food at the minute. So we've really gone to town on like 3 or 4 particular dishes that we've been rotating. So we've kind of got those really down. So yeah, it'd be cool to find a couple new recipes actually that we could try.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, we'll be sure to keep an eye out for Rabia and Hannah on the Great British Bake Off.
Yeah. But he will do the heavy lifting though, I guess, with things like if there's like, stirring and things. I'm just thinking back to that video and trying to remember what's even in it. Yeah, like the stirring, and I think I was like trying to like brace and was like, and he's stirring and it's really stiff dough with this really cold butter in it. So it's like dush, dush, dush. It's kind of like all over the place. That was a really fun time actually. That student house was really fun. But yeah, no,
we should make a lockdown baking show with you two. Cookies part 2.
That would be fun. Yeah, maybe we'll make his, like, he's got this keto cake thing that he's perfected. So maybe we'll do that because he's got his own little recipe for that. So
awesome. Your new channel, Little Cookies.
Little cookies.
Yeah, little tiny hugs and little cookies. Yeah. That's an option. It's out there. I like it.
You've got some subscribers. It's all good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, if I have a cooking show, I just don't think I'll keep it up. Like, I honestly, this is going to sound completely ridiculous and potentially an overshare, but I think this year I have maybe discovered as well, I'm somebody with like a sort of whatever it is, I don't know, but maybe like an ADHD type brain, and it totally makes sense if that is the case. So the divisions and the getting like, start this project, do this, do a bit of that, cool, yeah, done that now, do a bit of this, do a bit of that. It's so like, I don't know if that's really evident in the things that I'm putting out and then gradually taking down again, and all of the things that I agonize over and then put out, nobody sees, and it's like, I just don't know. It's a confusing place, YouTube now as well, and just social media in general. It's so different to when I started making YouTube videos, and when we were making videos at that time as well, it was like really so much fun. Yeah. And then everything got HD. Like really, really HD. And it was like, whoa. I took a few months off this, and now it's like a whole new world and everything's totally different. And I've got to relearn how to do everything. And I feel like some geriatric technophobe, but it's like, no, I'm really into my tech and into everything. So anyway, that's all just really excuses, to be honest. I should just I should just.
I think you have like a tech guy that lives in your house.
Oh yeah, I know. I know he's done all of his teaching and things like that. To be fair, I just need to do the doing. So yeah, he's very helpful actually. Yeah, and things like, he filmed the cover. I'd be like, oh, I can't do a cover, but I can't really set up the show. I can't really. He's like, if I catch him at just the right moment, and he's like, I'll film it. It's like, yes, thank you. So we did that Take On Me cover, and actually, to be fair, he did push me to do it a bit. I was like, okay, and yeah, he gives me that little push, I think, sometimes as well, to just share something with the world, So that's good.
We do enjoy it when you share with us.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thanks. I will share more. There is more coming. I've just got to figure out what I'm doing. I think yeah, it's like basically I'll share with you where I'm at. The question is, do I do this next volume of covers? I mean, I'm chipping away at it anyway, so it's going to happen. Or do I? And I think I know the answer to this now. Dive into some like original music and sort of share some stuff that I have no idea if anyone's going to like it, but I'm going to really enjoy making it. So I think I'll probably do that first, and then maybe volume 2, like a 3-track. Maybe, and then volume 2, and then another little free track. I don't know. No promises, but that's kind of the thinking right now.
You're getting multiple thumbs up here. Yeah. No, original is good. Yeah, we're whatever you put out, we're good with. No question there. Yeah.
Yeah, for it. All right. Well, I'll finish up this interview with just a couple fun questions about life at your home during lockdown. I know we've all gotten sucked into TV shows and movies while we've been at home. So we want to know what YouTube got going on the tube at home since you've been in lockdown.
Right. Is this tube as in TV, YouTube specifically?
No, or either. If you guys are just watching YouTube videos, which we do, it's still a reason we can watch our TV.
Yeah, we kind of, I kind of like go through like YouTube corridors, I guess, of sort of time where I'm like consuming, and then I come out. And then I go through another corridor where I'm like creating, and then I come out of it for a bit, and then I don't really look at anything, and then I look at it for a bit, and I'm just an observer. I'm like one of those weird watchers of all the weird. We sit and watch, like 10 places in the world you can't go, but anyway, and like we just love a few of those like late at night, just a couple back to back if we're like we kind of want to go to bed, but it's like, yeah, we need to like let the dog out for a wee, and like it's a bit early and blah blah, so we'll just like watch a couple of bits on YouTube, that sort of thing, or I don't even know.
And then it's like 4 hours later, you're like, God damn it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Or like, fun.
Like me the other day, I fell asleep on the sofa, which I hate doing because I hate the waking up and having to move and doing all that anyway. But I fell asleep, woke up and was like, he's wearing a different shirt. This isn't the same video. I was like, what time is it? And it was just like hours later. We'd been just snoozing and just watching this guy. Yeah, we watched a lot actually, like through the kind of like really solid lockdowns where we weren't really like properly allowed to kind of go anywhere. We did all the Harry Potters, but we kind of do those most like kind of Christmas times anyway, like Piers Big in particular, Harry Potter fan.
As you should.
Yeah, and like we doing the lines that we know, and like Beer got me a Hermione wand one year, which was quite funny because we sort of, he came back from town, was like, oh, I've got you a present, which was really sweet. But there was a new shop that had opened up. There was this kind of like Harry Potter shop or whatever in the lanes, and all sorts of weird and other wonderful things in there. And yeah, and I was like, what is it? And I weirdly thought at the time, because of the shape of the box, it was going to be an Apple Watch, and I was like, oh no. And actually I have one now as well, but which he bought me as well, which was really nice. It was a Christmas present, but I didn't want one because I was like, then I'm going to learn to rely on it, and then I'm going to have to, it's not going to last forever, so then I'll get used to it, and then I'll miss it. I don't want the thing to then have to miss it when it goes, to become reliant on it, right? I want to just be like, don't want to be too attached to all these things. But anyway, here we are, plugged into the machine. And yeah, anyway, it wasn't an Apple Watch, it was a Hermione Granger one, which was so much cooler. And then we kind of did a bit of Wingardium Leviosa, but then we were both sort of like, cool, just like put it back in the box. Like, what do you do with it after that? Like, I haven't even dressed up as Hermione Granger for Halloween, and I like, that was the only other thing really that it could sort of be applied to. So I think, yeah, I've still got to do that one Halloween, dress up as her. But anyway, Anyway, yeah, that was quite fun. So we did Harry Potter. We did what else did we do? We've done quite a few like film franchises. I can't really remember. What have we done? Well, yeah, no, I already said about that, didn't I? Yeah, we watched The Secret Life of Walter Mitty the other day or last night. That was quite sweet. Loads of Jose Gonzalez all over the soundtrack, which was really nice. What else? What else? I can't remember. Like loads though. Oh, Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
We
That'll
did
keep you busy. That'll keep you busy.
It really did. Like there was a point where I was like, oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, let's go. Like you have to kind of really wade through it sometimes, but it's got to be done.
Yep.
It's really good. Yeah, it's really funny. Not really funny. It's really great. Some parts are funny, I guess, but not. It's not really a comedy show, I guess.
I'm actually redoing Game of Thrones now. We've gone from start. We're up to season 5 now. Like in the last 2 weeks. Yeah.
Hi as well. Oh my goodness. Hi. Oh, you can't hear me. Okay, so
I have been invaded.
You have been invaded by a really, really cute monster.
Okay. Hello. Well, to be fair, I was hiding in her room, but she was in my bed, so yeah.
Oh, I can wake you up now. It's daytime. Bless her. Yeah, so it's long. Did you notice like the budget shift from season to season with Game of Thrones? Like that watching it this time, because we last watched it when we were like students, and we kind of, and then it was kind of like in pieces as it came, you know, and then we did the whole thing just now, and it was like, oh my goodness, like from season 2 upwards, it's just like billions and billions of pounds. Yeah, dollars or whatever budget. But yeah, that was fun to watch again. We did that. Yeah, I can't really think. I'm really enjoying Parks and Recreation right now, like as a kind of like half on, half off thing while I'm, you know, cooking or doing something else. That's kind of funny. I watched The Office again for like the 5th or 6th or 7th time. The US Office, love it to pieces. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I really like that. Bear doesn't like any of these ones. I like all of these ones. Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. I know serial killer documentaries until I couldn't anymore. Like I just can't get enough.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I know there's a British and American Office. Is there a British and American Parks and Rec, or is that just American?
Not that I know of. Yeah, I think it's just American. Okay. Yeah.
Didn't know. So okay.
Have you seen the UK Office?
Okay. Yeah.
So put a figure up for the if you're voting for the US Office. It's not political, just the TV show. And then put like a flat hand maybe if you're here for the UK one. UK. Oh, I'm all about the US one. Like Steve Carell, I love him to pieces. To pieces. He's so great. What a treasure. Anyway.
It's so funny because I watch so much British TV because Scotty gives me a bunch of recommendations and I have to watch on YouTube.
Right.
We have watched every season of Taskmaster.
It's quite good actually. I've seen like, yeah, I do know the only place I've watched that is YouTube actually. We don't really watch like normal telly. We sort of TV. We kind of have a bit of Netflix, a bit of Amazon Prime, a bit of Disney sometimes. We watched Disney films actually recently. There were some really good ones. Yeah, I don't mind a Disney film, but yeah, I think that's kind of the bulk of like the watching, I guess. Yeah.
Well, awesome. Sounds relaxing.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Pass the time.
It does pass the time, I know, and it's like our little dog as well. She's like, she loves a little snuggle up in the evening, and she'll just like park herself somewhere between us, you know, and snuggle for days. So it's just quite nice to sit there and chill with her.
My dog now knows the theme song Taskmaster, and he knows when I turn that on, that means I'm going to be sitting my butt on the couch, and he's like, awesome, I'm ready, get on the couch.
That's amazing. That's true. I love it when dogs know stuff and they don't even know that they know it. Like I'm pretty excited just because the result that I get from this is great, you know.
Yep.
Snuggle into this, yeah. Aww.
Well, thank you again for doing all this with us. It's been really great getting to know you and chat with you and just hanging out with us for the past couple hours.
It's been lovely. Yeah, really, really nice. I can see, is that Gemma? I remember meeting Gemma.
Yep, that's Gemma down there. Yeah.
Hi, Gemma. Yes, I remember meeting you. That was a great show, the London show. We had some friends come up from Brighton as well that night, and it was just kind of scary because none of them had really seen me do that kind of thing before. So I was like, I really hope I do a good job of this in front of my friends.
Gemma looks quite different now. She's a lot smaller now. She's worked really hard, and she's I don't know if Scotty, if you remember how much weight she lost.
I think it was 11 stone, was it, Gemma? She's in the chat, so that's what I'm checking.
Oh, sure. Oh, I should find
Yeah, Gemma said it was brilliant.
Yeah, she said
yeah.
Talking about the London show, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my
12
God.
stone, she'll be 12 stone now.
Yeah, congrats. That's hard work. I'm like, yeah. Good work. That's really, really cool. Yeah, I do remember meeting you. That was a really, really, really cool night. And I hope we get to do it again. It's like whispers. Like I don't know if they're real or not. Like whispers of us doing a Brighton show in December, and it's sort of like, I just don't trust that the world's going to be back to normal by then. But who knows? Maybe I'm being a bit pessimistic. So, yeah. Yay.
Yeah, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
I think so. I think like if we all just stay like really, really positive. I don't know.
Yeah. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. When it does, it'll be great anyway. I think everyone's
It needs to happen.
So much energy. Wait, who said that? Kai, it does need to happen. It literally does.
It needs to happen.
Yeah.
She's so sick of being home with the kids now.
I need to go out touring again, so it needs to happen.
Yeah.
No matter what, I'm coming there anyway. So.
Yeah, you're just coming, exactly. Yeah. I saw you like maybe make some lights or something. Were you at home?
Yeah, if we need to do it in your living room.
Yeah. Yeah, fine.
It.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, all come down. Yeah, the electric's been through some changes, so we could also, that's always available. But we don't need to, because if you can come here, we can come to you.
Yeah. Me and my whole family and Leo also going to Brighton as soon as it opens. So.
Yeah, the weather's going to be good too soon. So there's loads of things to look forward to, guys. Like summer. Although, wait, does there not look forward to summer? I'm not sure. Because of like being in Australia.
Sorry, Dal.
Are you going into summer now or coming out?
No, we are going into winter.
Exactly right, because I was like, oh yeah, we've all got summer to look forward to. And I was like,
yes. So this is my first interview where I've had to be inside, because normally I'm outside on our back deck, but no, I've had to be inside now because this morning it was very cold.
Yeah, we're just kind of coming out of all of that. So yeah.
Yes.
It was 1 degree for Aaron this morning.
Yeah.
That's 1 degree Celsius?
Celsius, yeah.
Yeah, I know that one. Yeah, that's very cool. That's too cold for me. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm not really built for like cold weather, but I just all the layers all the time, all the coats, hats, socks, everything. Yeah. I wear ski trousers sometimes to walk the dog in the rain just because I'm like, why not? Why not? Keeps me dry, keeps me warm.
I used to love winter, but now I'm just like, no, too cold.
Everyone tries to be all like, oh, it's gonna be great because we can wear these like cute sweaters, and be like, no, it's just gonna be cold. No one will see the sweater because you're wearing the coat. So yeah. Anyway, that's like,
But Aaron, do you have winter down there, or do you have winter?
Winter.
Just because my area does not get snow doesn't mean we don't get winter. We have a winter, mister.
You have a cold summer for us.
It's true. To be fair, Norway, we've been there at some point. We did a drive with Leah, which was amazing, from his to Larvik for a guitar festival once. And the snow was like, really tall. Like you're driving through like tunnels almost, of snow. And it's like, okay. Yeah, this is a lot more than the UK gets. Brighton has terrible snow. It's like a few flakes. Everyone's like, oh my gosh. Put their face in the window and it's like, oh, it's snowing. And then it's wet on the ground and that's it.
Yeah,
maybe
all the air traffic stops when it gets like 2 centimeters of snow.
Yeah, the buses are like, we can't do it.
We only stop when it gets to like 2 meters, then we need to stop the air traffic.
You're prepared for it. Your country is really like, they do the sensible thing and they go, oh, the weather's going to be like this every year. Let's be ready for it. The UK go, oh, bit rainy, easy, oh well, it'll burn up.
We're not very equipped for the weather, are we?
We're so not. And it's like, we're just not equipped. That's what Eric says, right? He's like, no, there's no bad weather, just the wrong clothes.
Yeah.
the wrong outfit, the wrong clothes, whatever.
Definitely.
He's totally right. He's totally right.
So the Aussie is complaining about the winter coming.
Yeah. Team Game of Thrones.
You're welcome to come to Norway, Erin, in January, February.
Mate,
then we can have a discussion
I
about winter.
I would love to, but with the way the world is, Australia's been told there will be no recreational international travel for at least maybe the end of next year. But
End of 22.
Oh,
Dang.
that was what someone had said. But yeah, it was so no holidays. Oh, except to New Zealand. There is the travel bubble to New Zealand at the moment, so we can go there. But otherwise, no. Unless, you have reason to. So there are people getting out and into the country, but
We will always find a reason.
yeah.
Exactly. Always
But
a
no,
job.
why
This is a
not?
job that needs to be done, or something. Could be like, I don't know. I can't think of anything creative. Let's
Yeah.
forget that happened.
Finding out how winter is, maybe.
No, what? Sorry.
Just for educational
Sure.
reasons.
Yeah.
Right.
Weather
You can come over and
research. There
spend
we
a
go.
California. Spend a California winter with me.
I'll
January in
die.
California. It's lovely.
Yeah.
I bet it is.
Oh, I love
Would
you.
be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, if we could just bring the weather here, that would be real nice. Just tilt the globe slightly.
Just a little bit.
I think that would. We'd
We've
all
just-
die just because I wanted a day of sunshine. That would be very, very selfish of me. I won't do it. It's all right. Let them know.
We've just gone completely British there, talking about the weather for a bit.
Yeah, you're totally right. Exactly. Yeah.
Such a British thing to do.
Fit the stereotype. Yeah, absolutely.
Yay.
No, it's been an absolute pleasure chatting to you today.
Thank
So
you.
Yes.
thank you so much.
Yeah, Hannah, thank you very much for being here. We really appreciate it. Once we get the video up, we'll link to all your stuff, Instagram, Facebook, your site and everything. So thank you for all of that. We really appreciate everything today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for having me. Total pleasure. You're all legends. And yeah, hope to meet you again or meet you for the first time or whatever, in real life as well. So yeah.
You'll be seeing Scotty at Brighton.
Yeah, where are you? Are you in Brighton? Or are you...
No, I'm in Leicester. So I'm from Scotland originally, but I live in Leicester. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah. All right. Nice.
But
nice.
now Charlie
Yeah.
knows where I live now.
Yeah, come down to Brighton when we have the show. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah, I've already promised Anders a shot, so I was like, oh god.
Oh right, there we go. Yeah, he'll have his fireball or whatever,
Yeah, that's the one.
hanging about. He just loves it. He loves it. Yeah.
Scotty and Fireball, it's gonna be fun.
I apologize now. Nice to meet you, by the way. I'm sure you won't want to speak to me afterwards.
No, don't worry. It'll probably just be one of those nights anyway. We'll all be in that position.
Because nobody else will remember. Kai remembers my drunken antics, unfortunately.
That's because Kai
I
took
have it on video.
screenshots.
So it's going on a big screen on one of the shows anyway.
No,
have it
it's
on
not.
video.
Yeah,
No.
maybe on Brighton we should have like
Oh my
let's
god,
screen
you
in
freaking
back.
die.
I'm not gonna give it to him. Sorry.
Oh yes.
Good, thank you.
Gonna give it to
We are.
me.
Maybe at the Christmas party, possibly.
Yeah,
Little
but I want to
slideshow.
do it like public, so it needs to be under the show.
There we go.
I'll kill him. I'll kill him.
I'm so intrigued to see how whatever this is, plays out.
We'll set up a private viewing for you, definitely.
All right,
Yeah.
great. That's good. I'll be there.
I'm changing my hair. I'm changing my hair. It's fine. No, don't know.
Awesome.
So good.
Oh,
Guys. So, yeah.
Thanks so much, guys, for having me.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Hannah.
Thank
Have a great one.
you.
You're so welcome.
bye.
Bye.
Bye.